Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the ruler of the United Arab Emirates and one of the richest men on earth, has a lot to answer for himself. He holds the Guinness World Record for the most expensive wedding and divorce. What is his net worth to be able to foot these bills? The answer is not far-fetched, since rich people marry and divorce so early. With whom did he have the most expensive wedding? Whose divorce cost him a lot? Sheikh Mohammed, born in 1949 to Sheikh Rashid bin Saeed Al Maktoum, had the privilege of being a royal and was soon settled in the country's politics. He became the Minister of Defense in 1971 after the UAE had gained independence. Exhausted by his bachelor days, Mohammed decided to settle down. He married Hind Al Maktoum, his maternal cousin, who is also his paternal second cousin. Hind Al Maktoum was born in 1962 and was the granddaughter of the then emirate ruler. She had a home upbringing and was taught the laws of Islam. She was trained as if being prepared for her marriage to the Sheikh. Hind was 17 when she married Mohammed, who was 30 at the time. The Sheikh had had his whoring days and needed to settle down with a chaste woman. Mohammed had a child with a Lebanese woman at the time, but culture demanded that he marry. Mohammed's parents must have been fed up with different women visiting his chambers and had to do something about it. His parents arranged with Hind's parents for their kids to get married. The wedding had to be celebrated extraordinarily, and the event was unrivaled to ensure the avoidance of doubt in the settling down of the young prince. The wedding also had some political implications, as the UAE was determined to bring itself to the limelight after the discovery of oil and the huge amount of revenue generated from its sale. The lavish celebration was the talk of the country. It happened to be the first major public event that would cost a lot of money. A lot of preparations were made to ensure the success of the wedding. The wedding was organized close to Zarbil Palace, and many infrastructural changes were made. Imagine having a 20,000-seat stadium built for your wedding, or having the palace fenced around and lighting poles erected for your wedding. Only dignitaries, VIPs, were present at the wedding, and the Al Maktoum dynasty was ready to show off their wealth and advancement as a country. How can a 20,000-seat stadium be built and reserved for only VIPs? This makes me wonder how many people graced the occasion in general. The ordinary Arabs were accommodated in the open air, and this was the only way they could witness the ceremony. It's no gainsaying that work and all productivity would have been halted during the wedding period to allow for the jubilation. The residents of the Emirates were fed for the 5 days during which the wedding lasted, and there was entertainment also. They witnessed, for the first time, planes doing tricks in the sky. There were camel and horse races, and when Mohammed won these races unconditionally, he laid the prizes at his bride's feet. A procession of 20 camels carrying gifts from Mohammed and aristocratic guests was presented to Hind. The camels were carrying gifts like jewelry, antique dishes, outfits with rubies and diamonds, and many more. She also received luxury cars as gifts. The dignitaries present at the occasion were shocked to see the lavish celebration. It happened to be a national holiday. The holiday cost $137 million and had to be listed in the Guinness World Records as the most expensive wedding in history, and has been unmatched since then. The luxury of this celebration did not faze Hind, as she was determined not to be carried away by wealth and convenience, and she dutifully paid attention to her roles and responsibilities. She bore 12 children to Mohammed and had so many foster kids she catered for. When Mohammed became the ruler of the Emirates, she played her role as the First Lady of Dubai and the mother of the Crown Prince, Sheikh Hamdan. It is evident that Hind was well brought up and was a lover of kids, as she never discriminated between her kids and Mohammed's numerous children out of wedlock. She was always happy and willing to have kids around her. She suffered a tragedy when she lost her first son, Rashid, to a heart attack. Rashid was the Crown Prince until his death, and Hamdan had to become Crown Prince in his stead. She knew she had no right to be devastated. She still had to play her roles on the home front and in the country. Hind braced herself and continued to cater to the other kids. Mohammed was a rake. He had so many other women around him and made his first wife, Hind, cater for them all. As a rule, he had around 4 to 5 wives at a time and would always change when the wives quarreled with him. He would take the kids for himself and send the women away. This is enough reason for any woman to leave Muhammad, but she gladly stayed with her husband for half a century. Hind saw all this and decided to stay with Muhammad. She was humble enough and stuck to the strict Islamic traditions that bound her to her husband. Hind is identified as a woman of courage, serving her family and the country. She led the 10 Million Meals Initiative in 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic, which provided over 15 million meals to hungry Arabs. She stands as an advocate for women to have bigger responsibilities in the country. Even though she had the most expensive wedding and an unpleasant marriage, she was never going to see divorce as an option, in contrast to other wives. Sheikh Mohammed married the Princess of Jordan, Haya, in 2004. Little did he know that Haya would leave him and demand a large sum for a divorce. Haya bint Hussein was born in 1974 to King Hussein and Queen Aliyah. Queen Aliyah later died in a plane crash in 1977. Haya happens to be the half-sister of King Abdullah II of Jordan. She had a prominent education, as she attended top private schools in Britain and the prestigious Oxford University, where she studied political studies and economics. Haya partnered with numerous charitable organizations and volunteered herself, using her influence as a royal member and a prestigious student to reach out to needy communities. Her knowledge of political studies and economics gave her the platform to contribute on a global scale. Haya was groomed to be a woman of repute, outspoken and intelligent, unlike Hind, who was homeschooled and learned to adhere to strict Islamic teachings. Haya did not just have formal education and political interests, she also had hobbies. Haya had a flair for horse riding, which would later make her bond with her future husband and king. Haya was that woman. She was determined to have a voice and to be different. She happened to be the first Arab princess to obtain a truck driving license at the age of 19. This was a great feat for any Arab woman at the time. Haya also represented her country in the Sydney Olympics. She participated in the equestrian race and finished in 17th place. She was a great woman who showed resilience and independence. She decided to participate again 2 years later, in Spain. Little did she know, fate would bring her to the eyes of Dubai's ruler. Haya married Mohammed in 2006 and became his 6th wife. She bore him 2 kids, a girl named Al-Jalila and a boy named Zayed. She became a prominent figure after her marriage to the Sheikh and was always appearing alongside him at international events, in contrast to his other wives. Haya's marriage was perceived to have been a strategy to unite Jordan and the Emirates, secure their ties, and advance Jordanian economic growth. However, friends of the couple assert the presence of romance between the two and that there was a deep sense of connection. What went wrong then? What reason did Haya have to divorce Sweet Mohammed? In 2019, the ideal marriage shattered as Princess Haya escaped with her 2 kids from Dubai to Britain. She did not only escape, she also sought legal assistance for herself and the kids. When the British court was dragged into the sham of the marriage, secrets were soon discovered about the Sheikh. Haya was worried that Mohammed would ship her back to Dubai and therefore sought a non-molestation order, which is common among victims of domestic abuse. Haya was said to suffer intimidation and provocation. She also sought a court order for her daughter to prevent her from the coercion of an arranged marriage to the Saudi prince. Haya had been filing for divorce, but this demand was rejected by the Sheikh, and efforts to escape were futile until German diplomats assisted her escape and ensured she obtained political asylum. It was revealed that Haya experienced dissatisfaction in her marriage to the Sheikh. The Crown Prince and other sons disapproved of her demeanor and free spirit, which would later cause the ever-growing frustration she had. It was revealed that she had an affair with her bodyguard, Russell Flowers, an Englishman, and was paid $2.1 million to ensure discretion. The affair lasted 2 years. It was also revealed that Haya paid 2 other guards who knew about the affair to prevent them from disclosing the secret. She fled for her life after the Sheikh found out her secret. Haya also unraveled the cruelty of her husband as he maltreated two of his daughters, Shamsa and Latifa, who accused him of killing his brother's wife because she was too provocative. This controversy and many more made Haya flee. Haya had problems securing asylum for her kids, as they happened to be heirs to the Dubai Kingdom, and her father was requesting their return until her brother, Abdullah II, intervened and made her the deputy ambassador to the United Kingdom, granting her diplomatic immunity and the grounds to continue with divorce proceedings. This divorce became one of the most significant divorces in history as it affected high-profile members. Haya requested full custody of her kids as she feared for the life of her 11-year-old daughter, who was to be married off. The case spanned for years, and more revelations were made, like the illegal hacking of phones by the Sheikh. The Sheikh would hack the phones of Princess Haya, her personal assistant, and her legal team to extract information they might have had on him. The Sheikh also made moves to purchase a property near Princess Haya's residence, which he later denied. Allegations of the abduction and imprisonment of his two daughters, the maltreatment of women in his family, the hacking of phones, and the abuse of power, exertion of control, and intimidation were made. Though Sheikh denied it all, the court overruled him. In 2022, the UK court ruled in favor of Princess Haya, demanding that the Sheikh pay a total sum of $728 million as a divorce settlement. This became the most expensive divorce in history. Ironically, Sheikh Mohammed set 2 world records with his wife.